Well, hello. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the show. It's Politi-tics on a Saturday night, and I'm your host, Jake Johnson, and joining me is the Bandhammer.
Howdy, UntetheredLive.
Amanda.
A little delayed reaction there, huh?
Yeah, what's up? What's going on in your neck of the woods? Which is right around the corner.
Right. About the same that's going on in yours.
Yeah. How's everybody doing? It's Saturday. You ready to get politickled to death? I'm ready. I'm excited. I got my hot cup of coffee. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. Who's first in chat? Debbie, looks like you're first in chat. You get the gold star for being first in chat. How are you, Debbie? Debbie says hamburger helper hand.
Here's your gold star, Debbie. And hamburger helper hand, Debbie. And hi, UntetheredLive family. Good to see y'all. Hope everyone had a good day.
Camel.
No, that was 4 days ago. Hiya, Jake. How are you tonight?
Fantastic. I can't complain. I could complain, but it wouldn't do any good.
Right.
But I'm doing all right. As far as days go, there have been worse ones.
Huh.
This one's pretty good. How's your day? How do you feel? Do you feel like I beat the hell out of you?
I feel like you threw me to the ground on the back of a Harley.
I did.
Damn it, man.
That's the life of a biker.
Yeah.
Half the time on the ground.
You're not supposed to throw your wife on the ground on the back of a hog, though.
If you wanted to stay upright, you shouldn't have thought about that before you got on it. Anyway, gold star, yep, check. Coffee, check, yep. Don't you want to have a cup of coffee with me? If you do, go to the kitchen, pour yourself a nice hot cup, and let's get to politi-tickling each other. If you don't have a cup, you can get one in the description below. I recommend the first one. It has my face on it. It is fantastic. I didn't bother with the rest of the stuff because I'm tired. But it's all down there, and you can go to another video and get coffee if you want, or a hat, or a biker hat, jacket, or a helmet, or a horse. I think there's a horse down there. I'm not sure about that last thing, but check it out. Like, subscribe, share, support, join, and super chats are available in the chat box if you'd like to show a little bit of love. If you want to be BJ. You can do that at CashApp, $jakejohnsonband, or PayPal.me/jakejohnsonband. And also, if you would like to hang out with us outside of the YouTubeverse, you can do that over at Facebook.com/UntetheredLive chillin'. The link is in the chat. It's a great place to hang out, share pictures, text, videos, memes, and get to know each other. There is a private chat for just us over there, or you can chat privately over there. And also, there's videos that are updated regularly that are adjacent to or directly concerning the things we talk about over here. It's free. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's yours. It's in a box. Go get it. And now back to the show.
Do you have rubber padding for wives down there in your order stuff?
You watch your damn mouth. Yes, I do.
Wrap me up in a bubble wrap.
I told you to put your gloves on. You didn't want to listen.
Don't blame it. No. Ain't got nothing to do with the gloves. Ain't got nothing to do with no gloves.
Just put your gloves on, everything would have been okay. But no, you had to be tough, girl.
Don't blame it on no damn gloves. Gloves wouldn't have stopped that.
In case you haven't been paying attention, we crashed our motorcycle yesterday. My motorcycle yesterday. Well, my goodness, mine. And it hit the ground. And now it needs a Band-Aid.
Yeah, we hit the ground.
And we need an old folks home. Because I'm getting too old to get beat up.
We are too old for this.
Amy says, what do you get when a stoner, a Jedi, and a surgeon walk into a bar? Blunt force trauma. Nice.
That's funny.
That's good. I like that. Blunt force trauma. Yes.
That's funny.
I was going to say mixed up, but I like yours better. Amy says, hi, y'all. Hi, Amy. Nice to see you. How art thou? Kevin Bernard, what's up, my brother? Good to see you. He says, hello, Jake, Amanda, and everyone. Hello. How are you?
Amy and Kevin, hamburger helper hand.
I want a mashup of Smokey Robinson and Neil Diamond doing their hello songs together, like over the phone, back and forth. Hello. Should be funny. I don't know why nobody's done that yet. They both have a hello song, and I'm sure I could find another one somewhere. Like the answer to hello. Like, who is it? How come we don't have a who is it song?
Can you hear me now?
Who's this? Or you got the wrong number song. You got the wrong number this time. Whatever. Kevin, I read that one. Amanda says.
I read that one.
Amy
Amy and Kevin Hamburger Helper Hand.
Amy says, Kevin, Debbie, Amanda, and Jake, wavy hands. Nice to see you.
LOL, Amy.
Judy says, hey, Jake and Amanda. Hi, Judy. Nice to see you. How are you? Thank you for dropping in. And Judy says, hey, Debbie, Wiener. I'm sorry. Hey, Debbie Wiener.
Debbie was the wiener.
And Judy says, hey, Amy, and hey, Kevin. And Kevin says, hello, Debbie, Amy, and Judy. And Amanda, are you guys okay? Are you guys sore today? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The whole left side.
Both of us, our whole left sides are bruised. Jake starting at his shoulder all the way down to his ankle, and I've got bits and pieces, my shoulder, my elbow, my hand, my knee. I got a peg mark on my right leg. Yeah.
Fun.
We're covered in bruises.
But we're alive, and we're able to move. So these are good things.
And the bike is still fixable.
And the bike is still fixable. And runs.
Yeah, and it still runs. We're not running so much, but the bike does.
Yeah, but that'll only last a day or so. We'll be back on our feet in no time. Amanda says...
where did I say? Hamburger Helper Hand, Judy. And very, very Kevin, and got a few more bruises that we didn't know about yesterday. Thanks for asking.
Kevin says pain tends to set in the next day. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I woke up this morning with a big old goose egg on my knee and one on the back of my hand. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of hard to see.
It's gone down some since yesterday.
It has gone down some, but it's still sore. Yesterday, it was real poofy. And my shoulder, I got a big bruise on my shoulder, but other than that.
And you had gloves on.
And I had gloves on, which is why I still have all my fingers.
I have all mine, too. I just have one that's got a busted knuckle, that's all.
Amy says, Judy, wavy hand. And whiplash takes a day to feel the full effect. Well, we don't have whiplash.
No, I don't think I got a sore spot on my neck, but it's not. We went down sideways.
Not whiplash. Believe me, if it was whiplash, it's unmistakable. Yeah. You wouldn't be up moving around or on the podcast. Amy says, how's your friend, Kevin? Yes, how is your friend? You told us that he was in a wreck last night, too, or the other night. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, we knew it would yesterday. There was still adrenaline running.
And Kevin says, the friend is fine, the truck, not so much. Well, truck's made of steel and it's replaceable. It's just a machine. Friends are not so replaceable. So thank God he's okay. Judy says, I hope you two have been taking it easy. Well, you know how it is. Never mind the mule, just load the wagon. And I'm a wagoneer, if you know what I'm saying. But thank you. Amanda says the same thing.
Yes.
And here's the link to the chilling page.
As easy as we can, I guess, LOL.
That's right. Just please don't push it.
Us not push it?
Never.
No, we're trying not to.
I'm not doing anything ridiculous or reckless, but, you know, I roll at it. And then my chat jumped. Hang on. I got it. Judy says, smiley face. And Kevin says, I just ate a big dinner. I'm not sure how long I'll be awake tonight. I hear you, brother. We just had sloppy joes and french fries. I mean, like just now. Just finished dinner. And I'll tell you something else, too, about this situation that we're in. I seem to have a guardian angel because every single time I get in a strait, someone pops up and is nice to me. And I appreciate that more than you could possibly imagine. Thank you, guardian angel. You know who you are. So being down ain't nothing but a thing when you got love. Judy says, me too. And Kevin says, Judy, how much snow did you get?
She got a lot from the pictures I saw.
Yeah, it was cold here, like ridiculous. Overnight, like, how do I explain this?
It was
85 degrees. I blinked and it was 45 degrees.
85 degrees. It rained for an hour and it was 45 degrees.
Yeah, crazy. That's one of the most drastic temperature drops I've seen in a very long time.
And then it was cold yesterday, and by the time we got home last night, it was 80-some degrees again.
Mm-hmm. Weird temperature. Schizophrenic even. Maybe it's Maybelline. Hey, Mabel. Mabel says, ciao, everybody. Hello, how are you? How's Hannah? How are things? How's the weather? How's your toenails? Judy says, we got almost a foot yesterday. Hasn't started today yet. How's your toenails? Kevin says, hello, Miss Mabel. Hello, Miss Mabel. It sounds like a villain in a movie. Hello, Miss Mabel. I'm fine. How are you? Cat. I don't know. Judy says, we have blizzard warnings for tomorrow. Good gracious.
And we're at 85 today.
At least we don't have drone warnings like California does. Apparently the Golden Globes are going to get struck by Iran. That's what I've heard. Anyway. Judy says, hey, Mabel, and hey, Hannah. And Kevin says, I'm going to roll some smokes before I fall into a food coma. Probably a good idea. Yep. I know what that's like, waking up and having forgotten to roll smokes. That sucks. First thing after you first wake up. So get it done before you go to sleep. Amanda?
Hamburger helper ham, Mabel?
Amy says, like, share, and invite some friends. Yes. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Mabel says, Hannah is with Madison, but I'll let her know you said hi, Judy. David Armstrong's here. Hello, David. He says, hi. Let's see what the channel offers. Whatever you want it to offer, David. Come on in and say hello to everybody. And hit that like button on your way in. And subscribe. Well, tonight we're going to be dancing around politics.
Yep, we're politi-ticky tonight.
We probably won't get to any direct points because we'll probably end up talking about something else. But the idea is there anyway. But it's a show about you. What do you like? What do you want to talk about? What's on your mind? The only thing, I have two rules. Respect the ladies. Don't get crazy. And, don't repeat yourself a lot. Don't be a troll. It's easy. Amy says, maybe it's Mabel. It might be. But that doesn't sound as good as Maybelline. In the song, anyway. Amanda.
I'm sorry, I was correcting Dwight down there lying on people already.
Dwight's lying?
Yeah.
Lying Dwight.
He's back trying to start trouble.
Dwight, I'm going to have to get you, son.
I made the quickest, easiest thing I could for dinner. LOL.
Hello, John. What's up, brother? He says, hello, Jake, Amanda, and everyone. I'm listening tonight. Life's been hectic lately. Gonna be a certified truck driver within a year, complete with the trucker horn.
Woohoo.
That's awesome. Congratulations. I'm proud of you. You keep doing that job. Get it done. And we love you, and you'll make one hell of a trucker, I'm sure. Certain of it.
Yeah, and he didn't get his license out of California.
Right. Amy says, welcome, David. And Maureen's here. She says, evening, folks. Hello, Maureen. Nice to see you. How are you today?
Hamburger helper hand, John.
David.
No. Welcome, David. My bad. I forgot about that one.
And Judy says, thanks, Mabel.
Hamburger helper hand, John. 8:34.
Yep, I saw it. I did read that. Okay. Judy, Kevin says, hello, Maureen. Maureen says, hi, Jake and Amanda. Hi, Maureen.
Hamburger helper hand, Maureen.
Are you doing good today?
Are you feeling better?
Are you feeling better? Judy says, hey, John. Amy says, sorry, I got the name wrong, Mabel. It's all right. Did you? I don't think so. You said maybe it's Mabel, and I said maybe it's Maybelline because it's a song from the 70s. It was a joke.
A makeup song.
I don't think you got the name wrong. Amy says Maureen Hart, and Amy says Mr. P. Wavy hand. Been a while. And Judy says, hey, Maureen. And Maureen says, don't forget to like and share. Or like Amy, invite your friends and family. Amen. I'm with you. I agree. 100%. Like, just bring everybody in. Invite people you don't like. Bring your enemies here. It'll be fun. Maureen says, hi, Judy and Kevin. And Amy says, cabbage was 55 cents a pound at the store. That's good. I like cabbage fried with butter and onions, little smokies or sausage. Cabbage is really good occasionally. I don't think I'd want to eat it a lot, but it is good sometimes. And it's really good with a little bit of sausage in it.
I agree.
Judy says, sounds good, Amy.
Nice, Amy.
And John's here. Hey, John, the second John. He
Nugget.
says, good evening, family. Nugget, nice to see you. How are you? We got both Johns in the house tonight.
Yep.
Nice. Judy says, hey, Nugget.
Nugget, hamburger helper hand.
Amy says, reduced for quick sale. Little Smokies. That's a cheap meal. Cabbage, onions, taters. And for under $4. Yeah, you can't beat that. That's like those crock pot meals with beans and a piece of meat. Just set it in there and let it cook all day. And when you get home from work, it's done. Throw some onions in there. Good stuff. Linda Davis. Hello, darling. Nice to see you. She says, hi, all. Wave your hand. Happy Saturday night.
Hamburger helper hand, Linda. How was your night?
Guardian Angel has arrived. Yeah, I heard you had a date. Dish. Ride 'em, cowboy.
You go, cowgirl.
Just don't get into that 8-second rule.
No, at least hold on for 12.
Right on. When you hear the bell ring, double down. Kevin says, hello, Linda. Judy says, hey, Linda. And thank God. Linda says, bleh.
It was okay. Well, did you have fun at least?
Did you pull a Biden on your bikes? Yes, I did.
Yeah, kind of.
A bike, one bike. And the tire came off the rim and threw us to the ground. That's what I get for trying to patch a tire. I learned a valuable lesson. It ain't worth it. Just buy a new one and go with it. Wait. I was trying to get to where I could make a little money and buy the proper stuff. So I patched the tire and I got it pumped up and I drove it to work. Everything was fine. Drove it home. Drove it to town. Drove it back. Then we decided to go get some groceries. So me and Amanda got on the bike and went to town. And on the way back, it went flat and threw us for a loop. We managed to stop before we left the bike. So that's a good thing, you know.
Yeah, we didn't slide.
We didn't have to really get hurt. But it could have been bad. It was definitely an eye-opener.
Yeah, a 1,000-pound motorcycle throwing you to the ground is not fun.
Correct.
I mean, the pavement's close, but it wasn't that close.
But we're alive, and the bike still runs, and it's still fixable, so we just have to start back over at zero. And Mabel says, ciao, Nugget. And hi, Mabel. I did say hi, didn't I? Nice to see you. Amy says, road whip rash. Whip rash, yes. A little bit of road rash, not bad. I got a little bit on my knee. She's got a little on her hand. It ain't bad. It could have been really bad, but it wasn't. It's just one of those things. If you are a motorcycle rider, the chances are not zero that you won't get hurt. Every time you get on it, there's a possibility that you will get damaged, and also a possibility that you'll get permanently damaged. So you have to keep that in consideration and be alert at all times. And don't do stupid things like speed, try to cut corners and things like that. Just take care of it. Amy says, cookie, heart. And Maureen says, prayers for all who need them. Thank you, Maureen.
Yes, thank you. LOL, Maureen. Not quite, but close.
Lady, you're my knight in shining armor, and I love you. Amy says, Big John Nugget. All right. Staying for the grid.
For the grid. Staying off the grid.
Staying off the grid.
He's already been kicked out.
I'll have you know that I am a homosexual. I only have sex at home.
And I can attest to that.
Amy says, LOL, Maureen, Biden fails. Falls. Biden falls.
Yeah, no, but our bike wasn't fully stopped when we fell over.
Right.
And we didn't fall over. We got pushed over.
Amy says, staying off the grid, too much information. I don't care who you are, welcome.
Well, then stay off the grid then. Take your gay crap elsewhere.
Yeah, I'll have you know that I slay. I don't need to be gay. So, you're a moron if you think that. And I'm perfectly comfortable with what I am. And I don't need a child to point it out. So go tell your mommy you're saying bad things to strangers on the internet. Because if you don't tell her, I will. When I see her tonight. Amy says, LOL, Amanda. And David says, nice. Thank you, David. Amy says, please like and subscribe. David says, done. Thank you very much. I'll see you pop up here in a minute. Dwight's back. He says, global warming is real. Yeah, if you're 12 and you listen to idiots on TV. Global warming has always been real. And it's always going to be. And there's nothing you can do about it. It warms, and then it cools. And then it warms a lot, and then it cools a lot. It's called a cyclical nature. The whole planet does it every year. Anybody that tries to sell you anything different is lying to you. Watch my show, Hyperbowl. You have to be a member to watch it, but go watch it. I promise you, you'll learn things you didn't know. Amy says, Jake, I tagged you in a video about AI and the Tower of Babylon. I saw that. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Amy says, thanks, David. And hi, Dwight. Nugget says, I nearly got a speeding ticket today on my Zimmer frame. Only joking. Right on. He was getting it, was you? Had to put a horn on that thing. Not any horn, one of those Ooga horns. Yeah. And some fur dice. David says, good start. Thank you. Thank you. I try.
LOL, Nugget. Be careful. Don't pull at us and crash.
Right.
He's got 4 wheels.
Amy says, I'm probably not going to stay until the end. I'm tired, but I'll stay as long as I can. I hear you. Me too. I might stay until about halfway and then I'll leave.
Yeah, it's not going to be a midnight, that's for sure.
Yeah, it ain't going to be a midnight night. Had a long day. Maple says, weather is cold but warming up. Global warming. I'm doing okay. One of my girlfriends is coming over for dinner tonight. Nice. And Hannah's with Madison. It's been a weirdly quiet day. I hear you.
Sitting around twiddling your thumbs and don't know what to do, Mabel?
I am glad that you have some friends coming around, though, and spending time and socializing. That's good for you. You don't need to be by yourself all the time. And also good to get the kid out of the house for a day. That's also a good refresher, a palate cleanser. So you're doing fine. I'm glad to hear it. Just make sure you eat and drink lots of water. And Judy says, hey, David. Dwight says, the Amanda woman and the other mod women censor people who disagree with them. No, they censor people who are idiots. You can disagree with me all you want. Don't be an idiot. And that's their job. Do you know what the word mod stands for? Moderator. Do you know what the word moderator means? They moderate. If you're immoderate, they moderate you. Don't be a moderate. Amy says, what are you serving, Mabel? Oh, I didn't think about that. What are you having for dinner with your friend? Judy says, hey, Dwight. And David says, real lady. Real lady. Yes. I think. What are you talking about? What is that response to?
I don't know. I said...
is that in response to me saying respect the ladies? Because, yes, they're all real ladies. Like the kind with the right bits.
No, we don't. We kick you out when you're disrespectful, Dwight.
Right. When you say retarded things like that.
Yes, David, we're all real ladies.
Amy says, you're still here, Dwight. People need to pay a troll tax if they come in trolling. Right. Hit that super chat. If you're going to be a moron, at least pay your way. Because remember, you being a moron takes up all of our time.
And we don't want to hear it.
And my time ain't free. So if you want to take up my time.
We're family here. We like to talk among each other.
That's right. And Mabel says, I'm not serving anything, Amy. My friend is on the way with some takeout. No, nice. I have rid myself of any responsibilities this weekend.
You go, girl.
You go, girl. That's nice. That's right. When in doubt, conscript the friends. You bring dinner, I'll bring the place we can eat. I like it. So it's a surprise. You don't even know what's coming. That's even better because it could be really good. It could be like a falafel, which is a thing I've heard about. I'm not entirely sure it's real. Might be a TV thing. Amy says, awesome, Mabel. Judy says, sounds like a plan, Maureen.
That meant Mabel.
Mabel. Oops, Mabel. Sorry, I got it. Yep. Linda says, that's great, Mabel. Mamas need that every once in a while. Yes, they need a breather, a little. I don't have to look at anything. I don't have to pick anything up. I don't have to wipe anything down. I don't have to scream at anybody. I don't have to wonder about where they're at. Just relax. And then everything's good. Mabel says, yes, Hannah even helped me clean the house yesterday before she went to Madison's, so I have nothing to do. Wonderful.
Well, eat dinner and run a nice hot bath and light some candles and sit back and relax.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a wiener to me.
Maureen says, I'm doing good. I'm doing better. Thank you. Thank you all. Set to make a crock pot roast beef tomorrow. A roast beast tomorrow. A roast beast.
That means all the fixings.
Is that like a roast beef?
Sound like all the fixings.
A roast beast. Is it like a dragon in a crock pot? Get down there. But you got to put that on high to keep it going, right? David says, BB does not have 6 fingers. The AI corrected it to 5 longer fingers. BB, meaning Benjamin Netanyahu. Is there an AI of him that has 6 fingers that I don't know about?
Or is he talking about that thing, the sarcophagus thing or whatever it was that they found?
I don't know.
That had the 6 fingers?
I do not know. You have to add a little context there, David. I can't read your mind. But it sounds like you're talking about Benjamin Netanyahu from Israel. And it sounds like there's an AI video out there of him, and it's got 6 fingers. So everybody caught on to it, so they corrected it. Is that what I'm getting out of that? That'd be interesting to see. And they're not that far away from being able to do that and you not being able to tell. They're very close to that. It's actually kind of scary. Gone are the days when you can trust what you see. Now you have to question everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, now it's even worse. You had to question everything before because everything is bullshit, but it's worse now.
Yeah, it's worse because now it's all bullshit still, and they can make you see whatever they want you to see. Judy says, Hannah's a good girl, Mabel. She is. and smart. Amy says, happy Pi Day, everybody. It is Pi Day. That's 3.14. 5792. I forget.
3.14.
It keeps going. That's just the first three numbers. Mabel says, yes, she is, Judy. We are very blessed to have her. Smiley face with herpes. Judy says, I'm cooking chili for tomorrow. Nice. Chili sounds good.
You just had chili.
Hint, hint, hint.
It's too hot for chili right now. You're going to wait till it gets cool again.
Amy says, chili is good. See, I told you I'm right. Better the second day because the spices incorporate into everything. Peanut butter sandwich and milk. Perfect meal. Judy?
Chili and grilled cheese.
Yeah, I like the grilled cheese with my chili. But I will say, I went to Kansas one time to interview a drummer. I stayed a week at his house, and while I was there, they fed me chili with milk and peanut butter sandwiches. And I was like, what the hell is this? And it never even occurred to me, but that's like breakfast and a snack and chili. That don't go together. But I ate it because I was at their house. And I want to tell you, that's one of the best flavor combinations I've ever had in my life. It really does work. I don't know why, but chili and milk with a peanut butter sandwich is a perfect flavor combination. Like collards and ketchup. Try it if you think I'm wrong.
Lord,
Try it. Try it. Don't deny it. It's good. Judy says, perfect food to watch the blizzard. Yes. David says, chili and homemade sourdough bread. Yeah, I can see that being good. I'm not a big fan of sourdough, but some people are. Amy says, Linda has the bread. She's the bread maker, that's for sure. She's got all the tools to make the good bread. Judy says, oh, David, that sounds heavenly. Too bad we won't be able to go anywhere tomorrow. Well, if you have a blizzard, you probably need to stay at the house. Amy says, I hate snow. Me too. You love snow if you don't live in snow. I think that's how that works. Because snow is beautiful. But if you live there, after about 5 minutes, it's just white mud. And mud sucks. No matter what color it is. Judy says, it's okay if you can sit and watch it, Amy. It's okay if you can watch it on TV, but it's not in your yard. That's when it's okay. David says, I am in the communist state of Faggoton. Where's that?
I had to think about it for a minute too.
Is
I was
that Washington?
Wrong. Yeah, that's where he's at, but I thought he was in California.
No, he's above California, Washington. I'm guessing because Faggoton, Washington.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard that there's some really good parts of Washington State though. Owen Benjamin lives out that way, or did. He might have moved. He moves a lot, but he lived in Washington, and he was bragging about how good it was out there. But also in the cities, very woke. So I really don't know. I've never been to Washington, but I hear it's beautiful. David says, L-O-L-O-L-O-L-O-L-L. I think I spelled that right.
California, David? Question mark?
Washington.
Yeah.
Linda says, I hope tomorrow is nicer here. I'm going to make some barbecue ribs. Y'all make me so hungry every time I come here.
I know, right?
Debbie says, Jake, don't you mean you will tell his dad he says bad things on the internet when you see him tonight?
Yeah.
Well, I am homosexual, so I guess you might have a point. David says, it used to be Washington. I got it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about all that. I don't know why people do the things they do. It's almost like they just follow programming regardless. It's like people don't think anymore. And there's some of us that do, but the majority just goes with whichever way the tide rolls. And it puts us thinkers in a very precarious position in life. And I'm glad that it seems to be turning around, but I don't know. It ain't gone, that's for sure. It's still here. It just ain't as prevalent as it once was. I think it'll take more than one Trump term to get completely rid of DEI and wokeness. DEI, DIE, whatever it is.
DEI.
DEI. Amanda says,
LOL. Oh, David.
oh, David. That sounded dirty. I'm sorry. Nugget says, I got LED on it now as well.
LOL, Nugget. Big pimpin'.
That's right. Get them lights shining. Do you have the multicolored LEDs? Can you make it blink? That's what you need.
You need to get him one of them big gold necklaces and on them big chains.
Yeah, buddy.
Some high top tennis shoes.
And a furry hat.
Yeah, some high top tennis shoes and leave them untied so they flop around.
Big pimpin'.
Big pimpin'.
David says, yes. Mabel says, yep. She won't tell me what it is. Well, I hope it's a pleasant surprise.
It's food, I hope.
Well, I'm sure. She's coming over for dinner. It would be awkward if she brought the mail.
I mean, just saying.
You expect me to cut that with a fork? Aaron says, whoosh. What's up, brother? Whoosh, blam. Kapow.
Hamburger helper hand, Aaron.
Superhero in the house. My man Aaron shows up. He says, how's the bruises? Bruisey. Appreciate you asking.
Purple.
Purpley. Nugget says, I got DoorDash on speed dial now. Not a bad idea if you live in town.
Yeah. Yeah, a real good idea if you live in town.
DoorDash for us is expensive because they got to come out in the country and find us.
Nobody delivers out here except for Walmart.
Yep. The pizza place in town, which is 4.5 miles away, won't deliver at my house. They'll deliver at the end of my road, which is 5 houses down, but they won't come here. I'm like, just turn around in my driveway. You got to go back. It's not that hard. Or just drive by and throw it out the window and I'll catch it. That way you don't have to deliver here. Say it flew out the window. Whatever. Weird peoples. I'll walk down to the church if I want a pizza delivered. Amy says, Aaron, kissy face, hearts and wavy hands.
That's why they'll deliver to the church, because it's the last thing before the boondocks.
Right. David says, yes. Yes.
Talking about the 6 fingers.
Uh-huh. Amanda says,
rough, Aaron.
Rough.
Rough.
Aaron says, I'm sorry for you both. It's just a thing. Thank you, though. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Aaron. We'll be all right in a couple of days.
That's right.
We're tough.
We are tough. Aaron says, facts. Aaron says, the ground was a tenderizer. It felt like a tenderizer, a meat tenderizer.
Definitely, Aaron. A meat and a bone tenderizer and muscle and everything else.
Mabel says, Fab hasn't shown up to stir the pot yet, so I will because I'm bored. All right? Bring it on. Amy says, blizzard equals French toast, right? That actually sounds good, French toast. A little syrup. Oh, yeah. I think we got some eggs and some bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Amanda?
LOL, Mabel.
Amy says, I sent Fab the link. He'll be by later on this afternoon, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's probably playing his game.
Nugget says, David, is that in Gayville? Faggotin? Is Faggotin in Gayville? It probably is. Up on Homo Hill. Around Transgender Way. Aaron says, you're bored, Mabel? And Mabel says, in the first year of the war in Afghanistan, the Americans lost 13 soldiers. In the first week in Iran, Americans lost 13 soldiers. Take that for what you will. Yep. We did that. I'm not sure what the point is, but yes, we did lose.
The war in
13 soldiers.
Iran's been going on for longer than a few weeks. It's been going on for a few years.
But our involvement in it,
Yes.
she's not wrong. That is
No,
correct.
she's not wrong.
It could be argued that the way they died was a little different than the way soldiers typically die. But a death is a death. I don't like the fact that Trump is doing what he's doing, but I understand why he's doing it. People have been asking our leadership for decades to stand in and do something. And every president we've had has said, nope, we'll send money, or we'll do this, or we'll do that. But not one of them has intervened and put a stop to what's going on there. Trump said, okay, I'll do it. I don't think he should have, but he's doing it, so I hope we win. That's kind of the position we're all in around here. We don't actually want to go to war, but if we're going to go, at least let us win. And Mabel says, maybe, Aaron. Aaron says, remember that. And he is providing a service, says Aaron. Who is?
Americans.
Aaron says, I'm going to stir this pot and about to cook evil laugh. Stir this pot with an evil laugh. David says, pushing things is where I draw a line. My other creative friends feel the same. Other than that, we feel who cares. Right on. I think I understand what you're saying. Mabel says, do it, Aaron, do it. Stir that pot. Aaron says, whoa, say less. Well, less is more in some cases. Judy says, hey, Aaron. Aaron says, yo, like Rambo. Nugget says, I'm in a countryside 10 miles away from me is the town. Well, maybe it'll be expensive for you too then, because that's about how far our town is away.
Yeah, I mean, we got a little town that's like 6 miles, but you blink and you're through it, so you really can't call that a town, but it is on the map.
Well, DoorDash comes from Greenville, not Aden. So,
right.
Which is 20 miles away, 25 miles away. Now, I don't think Aden has DoorDash, but they operate there, but their office is in Winterville or Greenville.
Well, they operate everywhere, but it just depends on how far out they'll go.
Debbie says, Iran has been at war for 47 years. It's about time someone freed the opposed people, oppressed people. If that person needed to be President Trump, then so be it. That's kind of where I'm at. I don't like the idea, but it did kind of need to be done. I don't know why it's our job to do it, but if it is, then let's do a good job at it. I'm not a war proponent. You'll never see me hawking for war. I don't like it. I think the only time war is necessary is when they come to your house starting trouble. So if an armada showed up at our front door, then it's time to go to war and it's time to fight hard. But I would never go to somebody else's house and start trouble. That's where I stand. That being said, I'm also a patriot, and this is my president, and of course I want him to win and do a good job. So I'm kind of in that position. It's a little bit in between the lines. It's a little bit hypocritical, but I can't really help it. I was put in that position. I didn't take that position. So here we are. Aaron says, LOL, I can't wait for Jake to read. I'm bored. This is going to be great. Well, if you're bored, find someone who's nailed or hammered and build a house. Find someone who's hammered and get nailed if you're bored. If life hands you lemons, find someone whose life handed them vodka and make screwdrivers. Mabel says, I understand this view, Debbie. Did I miss one? Nope, I didn't. I understand this view, Debbie, but the fact of the matter is the Americans have been in the Middle East several times, and it has never created peace and freed anyone oppressed. That is true. And by the way, there's a global agenda. This is the thing that other countries don't understand about America. There are two types of government that are operating in this country. There is the government that operates our country, and then there's the global elitists. And for whatever reason, they have it in their mind that we should be the world police. And they try to regime change every country in the Western Hemisphere and turn them into democracies. And it does not work because they don't want to be a democracy. They don't want what we're selling, and it don't work. And which is why it just goes on and on and on and on and on, because you cannot change their minds. They live a different way than we live. And it's a different mindset. You can't put a square peg in a round hole. So the wars just keep going and keep going and keep going. And nobody seems to get it. Those global elitists, they want the whole world under one umbrella. And it just is not a good idea. So that's what's going on. You're not wrong there, Mabel. But again, we have to play in the sandbox we're put in. And we're put in this one. We have to stand up for our president. But I really wish we would get out of the business of regime change, because it is not a good thing on the world. If you read the Bible, which we do here, you will discover that the only time God blesses the fight is when he tells the people to go fight. And he has not told us to go fight. So in my mind, if you want God's blessings, you wait for him to tell you to defend yourself. If he tells you to go, then by all means go. If he does not tell you to go, you shouldn't have a finger in that fight, in my opinion. Aaron says, they dang pumps $5 now. What?
Yeah, I could see that where he's at.
They dang pump.
Them dang pumps are $5 now.
The
gas pump.
The gas is $5 now. Okay.
I could see that where he's at.
Yep, it's $3 here. $3.50, I think. Somewhere in that area. Debbie says, even though the people of Iran voted in their oppressors, like Austria wanted to be like Germany and have the wealth of Germany, they... And then my chat jumped. I don't know where I'm at. Hang on.
913. 912, but 13 is Debbie's, the rest of Debbie's comment.
They voted in Hitler. It does not mean they did not deserve to be freed of Hitler. Well, that's true. It's a messed up situation in Iran. It has been for a very long time. If you go back to the 60s and look at pictures of Iran, and you can find them, they're everywhere, it looks just like you're looking at New York. I mean, there's people dancing around, women are driving cars and wearing miniskirts and wearing makeup and frolicking, and people are having fun, and there's money everywhere. Cut to today, women can't drive, they can't go outside by themselves, they have to wear a burqa. It's not a good look. But ever since that regime took over, the people have been resisting in any way they could and failing, because this is a dictatorship. But they've been asking for help the whole time. Nobody's offered to help. Trump did. I don't agree with it, but I see where he's at. I understand why he did it. I don't agree with it, though.
Now you're 912 at Mabel's comment.
Mabel says, in fact, I would argue Afghanistan is far worse off than they were 25 years ago. Yes, but that's Biden's fault. If they'd have done it the way Trump wanted to do it, they would have left the bad people with no power, and the good people would have had an established government, and they would have been better off. But Biden did not do that. He just pulled everybody out and left all of our military equipment there for the bad guys to just take as they will, and they immediately took back over. And yes, they are worse off than they were 25 years ago. That being said, the reason we were in Afghanistan in the first place, you need to look at them poppy fields. There's a lot more going on there than what they report in the news. David says, stop giving them ideas. Who? Who needs to stop giving who ideas? About what? Context. John says, Iran have a new leader already, the son of the one that was killed. Ain't he dead already?
I think they took him out too, didn't they?
I think I read yesterday that he's dead. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, but Trump's wanting to appoint somebody.
Debbie's read that one. Aaron says, I ran since high school.
You ain't ran nowhere since high school.
Stirs the Kool-Aid, says Aaron.
Yeah.
Debbie says, Mabel, genuine question. Why do people in Canada care about American politics? Well, because we're right here. Neighbors. Amy says, I like cherry Kool-Aid. Aaron says, LOL, because they drink American liquor.
Me too, Amy, or tropical.
I like the red Kool-Aid.
Right, it's all red.
And I like the watermelon Kool-Aid, I guess it is.
It's red too.
It's red too. Cherry and
tropical.
And pink and grape.
Aaron nails it.
I'm not into the blue or the green. I
Uh-uh.
don't care for that color flavor.
Aaron's next comment nailed it.
Amy calls red.
Amy, it's called red.
It's called red. It's red drink. That's right.
Gotta season you.
That's right. Like purple drink. I'm with you. There's the Sunny D and the purple drink.
I do like Country Time Lemonade, though. That's good.
And Mabel says, why wouldn't we? It's not just American politics. When Iran strikes one of our bases, and we have had no involvement whatsoever. Has Iran struck one of your bases? I don't know anything about that.
LOL, right, Aaron?
Why not talk about Canadian politics and what Canada's doing, says Debbie. Because we're here talking about politics. It's okay. Amy says, Kool-Aid, that's the expensive kind. I'm on a Flavor Aid budget. Flavor Aid and Kool-Aid is exactly the same thing, just in a different package.
Pretty much.
Aaron says, I just hope I don't get sent for the bullshit. Yeah, I hope you don't too. I hope the bullshit will be over pretty soon. If we can get this, damn it, I forgot the word. If we can get the Hormuz Strait ordeal worked out, it'll be over. Right now, that's our passage. That's where all the supply shipping and all the oil comes from, through that strait. And they got it blockaded, so that's a bad thing. And that's really the only power they have. That's the only hold, the only step they can take, because we've overwhelmed them in every other environment.
Well, one of Iran's big oil industries just got exploded or blown up yesterday or today, in the past couple days.
So we're basically trying to take the oil and change the power structure. Trump, that's one thing he's good about, is retrieving the minerals, like in Venezuela. He made a deal with them where it worked out for their country, and we got rights to their oil because it was ours to start with. We're the ones that spent all the money and went in there and built the infrastructure to mine that oil. And once we got it all built, their dictator took it from us. So that's why we took it back, just for context. It's not exactly the same in Iran, but they do have a large surplus of oil, and we have been doing business with them for a long time. So it will be unbusinessman-like to stop that arrangement, because it's good for both countries. So if Trump managed to get the oil through the Hormuz Strait, if he can get that blockade taken care of, I think this whole thing will fall apart and it'll be over with. But As long as they got a blockade there, we're going to be ramping up, unfortunately. Aaron says, sugar water.
Shit's all sugar water.
Yeah, but that's what Kool-Aid is. Sugar water. Kool-Aid, sugar water.
The Pentagon just sent 5,000 air and sailors over there.
Yep. Over there. Iran,
yes.
So we're gearing up to do boots on the ground now.
No, air and sailors. Air and water. Nothing on the ground still.
So they're surrounded by our ships and planes flying over here.
Yes.
Got it.
And our submarines and all that.
Amy says, everything is bullshit. Correct. Everything is bullshit. You got to look all the way through it. You can't just live with the narrative. The narrative will lead you astray. That's what they want you to know. You got to look at everything. Everything's bullshit. Start there, and then everything else makes sense.
We are only attacking from air and sea.
So far. David says, Mabel, this all started during World War II. Europe had control of the Middle East, and then Germany controlled those areas. Yeah, this whole thing's been going on for a very long time, and I'm hoping, I don't know what Trump's got planned, because all of this seems to have come out of nowhere. This wasn't in his campaigning. This is not why we voted for him. None of this was in discussion leading up to his presidency either time. In fact, he ran on no wars. And up until now, he's had no wars. He's stopped a few, but he hadn't started any. And he didn't start this one, but he is going to finish it, I think. Now, if I were the president, I would be trying to restructure the whole thing to change the way it's been operating the past 100 years or 50 years. I don't know what his plans are, but I suspect that he has a plan. And I suspect that it'll probably work out for the better if it's successful. Now, you've got two factions working against Trump, the Democrats and the rhinos, which are the Republican and name-only people that are really just war hawks, that want war. They want continual war because they make a lot of money off of war. They're going to be working against him every step of the way. So it is not a guarantee that just because he starts out doing something that it's going to be successful. I hope that it will be, though. I hope he can pull it off, whatever it is he's got going on. Aaron says, if all else fails, if you run out of money, if you run out of monkey juice, fling shit and hope for the best. Well, so far we hadn't had any monkey juice. But the night is young. David says, then the people saw that they could be free, and the Westerners wanted their control back. Mabel says, here's a thought, Debbie. And maybe it's less about politics and more about me not supporting war, because war is all my husband has ever known, and I have watched the way it has destroyed him. That I totally understand. And also, I understand why you're against war. Unfortunately, that is the position that we're in at the moment. It is war. And a lot of people are trying to say it's not war because we don't have any boots on the ground and blah, 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 blah. No, it's war. There's exchanges happening. It is war. But hopefully it'll be a short war. And hopefully we can get out of it and not go back into it. It's kind of hard to preach anti-war in the middle of a war. But hopefully we can eradicate it. That being said, you can talk about anything you want to talk about. This is a safe space and you are family. But try to remember that we're not against you. Because even if we're in different countries, we are friends and we are neighbors. And that will never be a thing between us. We're not ever going to attack Canada. I don't care what Trump says jokingly. That's not ever going to happen. So America is not the enemy. I think that's what I meant to say. Amy says, Men go to war and come back changed for servicemen. Prayers for servicemen. Yeah, unfortunately, war changes people. It really does, because they're not prepared for what they see over there.
And some people just aren't cut out for that type of stuff.
There's not a very good soldier picking program. They pretty much just let anybody that qualifies go. And some people really are not made for that. They really are. I'm not. I know already that if I went over there, I'd be a monster, because I only know one way to survive, and that's to do whatever I have to do to survive. And that'll lead you to bad places in war. Some men are cut out for it. They seem to thrive on it. They get better with it. I'm not one of them. I would be a monster. And to all the people that have people in their families that are servicemen who they've seen change over the times, I pray for you. I know that's a hard thing. And I don't know there's anything that can be done about it. I think that's just the way it is. And it's a really, really sad thing. War has a tax that nobody likes to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about the real cost of it, because it lingers. The war might end, but the damage remains.
And PTSD is no joke.
It is not. And I feel for anybody that has to go through that. And I love you. And I really, really hope that everything works out in your best interest. But it's a hard life we live here. Aaron says, thank you, Amy. Amen. Amy says, there's a reason for the expression war is hell. Yep, I think Marlon Brando. Aaron says, hell's a picnic. War is the cookout. Ain't either one of them good, I promise you that. The devil's the cook. Right on. Amy says, I can imagine the barbecue chicken in hell is still red on the in the middle. Can't even get cooked. Can't even get done chicken in hell. That's funny. Debbie says, I get that, Mabel. I bet everyone here is against war. It's the politicians that make these wars. The United States is not the only ones involved, but President Trump gets all the blame, it seems. Also an understandable position. I think there's room here for growth, because this is a good point being made. People that are adjacent to people that go to war are affected by it, and they have opinions that are formed based on that feeling, not the war, but the feeling that they have about the war. And then people in America who have, for no reason of their own, been involved in a war. We're defensive of what we're trying to put forward, and the rest of the world sees it a different way, and then the media spins Trump like the devil or Hitler or whatever. And if you don't know him and you just follow the news, you'd think that. So I understand what both of you are coming from on this point, and it's a good argument to resolve, because we're both saying the same thing, just with different words. And neither one of us are for war, and neither one of us appreciate what war does to people. And our country is doing what it can do at the moment. Maybe not the right thing, but it is the thing we're doing. So we have to figure out a way to make that work in our lives. It's a very difficult position we're in. When war happens, all things go up into the air. And that's when you're tested. That's when you figure out what you believe, who you're rooting for, what is important, where things come down in the mix, and how you're going to proceed in your life based on what's happening in front of you. Like I said, not one person that voted for Trump that I know personally had any mind of war when they voted for him. We actually voted for him for the opposite reason, because he ran on no wars. But now here we are, and a thing is happening. So what do? Do you abandon the guy you supported? Well, no, you can't, because the alternative is way, way worse. If you think this is bad, imagine what would have been like if Joe Biden had went to war with Iran. Or worse, Kamala Harris. So it's a rough situation all the way around. But We're family here, and we can talk about these things without drawing lines. We're not at war here, so let's not draw lines. Aaron says, hell would be chicken with no flavor, half cooked for life. Ugh. Are you talking about Popeye's chicken? You're talking about Popeye's chicken, aren't you?
KFC.
Mabel says, yes, Iran struck one of our bases after the initial U.S.-Israeli strike. No injuries, thank God, or fatalities, but it could have easily resulted in Canadians going to war. They have had no skin in. Well, hopefully they won't. I hope that they'll continue to have no skin in it, because the worst thing we can do is add to this war. If your government is smart, they'll stay far away from this conflict, because it does not need to drag the rest of the world into it, because that's what they want. I actually heard somebody say that this is the war that'll pave the way for the rebuilding of the temple in Israel. That's on their minds right now. Well, if you read the Bible, which we do here, you'll know that that particular conflict that paves the way for the rebuilding of the temple in the Bible concerns the whole world. All the countries are in the war against one country. And we do not want that to happen. So let's hope for the best. Cross our fingers and pray to God that that don't happen. I certainly hope that we can refrain from dragging other countries into this. I hope it's one of those skirmishes that talked about for a week and then it goes away. I really hope that's the case. But we are at that period in time in history, so you have to prepare for the possibility that it's coming, because it is coming. I just hope it ain't coming right now.
Do you need more coffee?
Not yet.
Okay.
Aaron says the commander-in-chief sign up for the blame. I guess they do, yeah. If the buck stops here, so does the blame. So I guess you're right about that. Nugget says Keir Starmer is a coward. Even when there's drone attacks, our bases won't do nothing. Wow, I hate that little man. Well, I hope, like I said, that all the other countries do not get involved in this. I really hope so. Because that's all that's going to be like throwing gasoline on a flame. It's just going to escalate. And that will be World War III, and we don't want that. I really wish our country hadn't got involved in it, but they did need help. And if that's what he's doing, then I'm for that. If it's for some other reason, I'm not for that. And Aaron says, same as we sign up for war. I guess if you join the military willingly, you are signing up for that, yes. That's why I don't believe in the draft. I don't think you should do that. I think if you want to join the military, it should be voluntary. And you should be of sound mind when you do it. Amy says, yes, he does, Aaron. It's part of the job. And I think he knows that, which is why he doesn't push back against it too much. Mabel says, Debbie, not once have I made any statements against Trump in relation to this war, so what's the point? Trump is, however, the main representative of your country, so yeah, people are going to blame him. Understandable. But again, let's not draw lines amongst ourselves. We can argue a point without going to war with each other. Mabel says 22 Marines are included in that 5,000.
2,200.
2,200 Marines. Didn't I say 100?
No.
2,200 Marines are included in that 5,000. Well, God bless all of them. Amy says everybody needs constructive criticism. I don't disagree with that either. Aaron says, like I said, I don't want to get sent to fight or die for old men's shit. I don't either. And I don't want you to either. The only reason I would want to stand up and fight or send someone to fight is if they came here. If they don't come here, we shouldn't get involved. And Debbie says, okay, I am not in the know of everything military. I just think everyone is too quick to blame without all the facts. That's understandable. And this kind of thing is a very sensitive subject. It's going to get people's emotions up high, especially if you got somebody that was or is involved. That will definitely make you touchy about it. But remember, we're here to argue a point and walk away as friends. So keep that in mind. And number two, there's not really anything any of us can do about the situation we're in except watch it unfold. That's really all we can do. We thought we were voting for the opposite of this, which is why we voted. So only so far your vote will go, I guess.
Yeah, Marines are water military.
Sorry, my chat jumped.
929. Aaron's.
Aaron says, well, I know, and we are saying no for a reason. And Mabel says, unfortunately, I truly believe the Middle East has far too many proxy militias and organized groups for there to ever be peace there. Well, that's true. And it's in the Bible. There will never be peace on this earth. Write it down that I said so. They will cry, peace, 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 but there will never be peace. As long as Christ has not returned, there will never be peace on planet Earth. There will always be a war or a rumor of war somewhere. Always. And it's for that very reason right there, because there are so many groups of people with different ideas and beliefs that exalt into the high heavens. You can't change their mind. You can't work around it. You know, it's going to be their way or the highway, and there's two of them with that emotion, so that leads to conflict. And it always will, unfortunately. And for whatever reason that is, it costs a lot of good men their lives. Debbie says, it's just not my nature to trash talk people. It comes too easy for some. Well, I don't think anybody's trash talking anybody here. I haven't heard that yet. I see why you would think that, but I haven't heard anybody say anything negative about anybody else yet. We're just talking about the situation that's in the Middle East. And it's not a good one.
Right, Aaron, we're helping Israel.
Who are?
The United States.
Yeah, we shouldn't be.
I'm not arguing that point, but that's why we're there.
Aaron says Navy. That's the water people.
Yeah, but
Marines are the front line people. The Semper Fi people. The hold your breath for 5 minutes people. They do have a water group, though, the frogs.
Yeah.
Judy says, Mabel, I think war destroys everyone involved. It is sad. Yes, it is. And yes, it does. It is not a good thing for anybody. And nobody actually wins a war. Even if you win, the toll makes you lose. Aaron says, yep, I don't want to snipe for that. And I don't blame you. Mabel says, yes, Judy, it is unfortunate. And Amy says, I wonder what the economy would be like today if Trump would have been reelected in 2020. I think the world would have been better. He needed 8 years, not 4 and 4. I agree. And he was elected in 2020. They just stole it from him. But I think what you would have seen is he would have brought all of those manufacturers that he was getting in touch with in the first 4 years. They would have all came back to America. And I think that gas prices would have plummeted and the housing prices would have plummeted and the stock market would have skyrocketed. And I think it would have been great. But we had COVID and a stolen election and a bunch of bullshit and a bunch of impeachment shit and Russia and all that. They were not ever going to let that just be. If they would get out of his way and let him do what he laid out to do in the first 4 years, what we voted for, that would have been beautiful. But the other side is never going to let that happen. They're going to get in the way every chance they get. Right now, Trump has got permission to drill in California and is doing so. And the guy, Gavin Newsom, is fighting him tooth and nail not to get the oil out of California, which will help everybody. Bring the gas prices way down.
It's going to ruin California's shoreline.
Retarded. Why would you fight against your own interest just because it's Trump?
At a drill spot that's already there.
He's drilling in a place that's already been drilled, so it's not like he's bringing up a new place. And it would help the whole country. Why would you fight against that? Because they're on the other side, and they're going to fight against anything he does, whether it's good or not. And it ain't just him. If it was any other Republican in office, they'd do the same thing. Anything they can do to destroy.
Agreed, Amy.
And Mabel says, thank you, Jake. My pleasure. It's true. Aaron says, if he can tell us the point, I'm good to go, but there is no point. I agree. For what you're talking about, there is no point. That shouldn't be necessary. Amy says, ask the men on the front line if it's war. Aaron says the answer is yes. They should call it the few, the brave, the curse. I hear you. Amy says it used to be called shell shock. Yes, PTSD. That's exactly what they called it. Then they softened the language and called it PTSD. And they did that so that they could weave a narrative around it and diagnose it. Whereas shell shock is a result of something you're exposed to. PTSD is something you can inherit. See how it's easier for them to label it with PTSD. If it's shell shock, it's their fault. If it's PTSD, it could be your fault. Amy says, George Carlin, it's a big club and you ain't in it. I agree. Aaron says, for a while it had no name and was untreated. Nugget says, I'm all for defending yourself and your country. Me too.
Now, I had an uncle who was shell-shocked and spent 3 years in a mental hospital from being in the military.
Well, the truth of the matter is that for civilians, people that are over here that hear about the war on TV, that watch the clips that the news narrate, we have no idea what that actually looks like. That our minds cannot even fathom what those people see and experience and feel, and the exhaustion and the fatigue and the terror, the fear, the adrenaline, the joy. Do you know what it would do to you to kill somebody and enjoy it? All of your programming says that's wrong, and yet here you are having these emotions. That'll mess you up. And then there's the actual blight of war that we can't imagine. And that's why when the old Vietnam guys came back, everybody wanted to know what it was like. What did you do? What did you see? They didn't want to talk about it because they had to do some pretty terrible things over there. They were ordered to do some pretty horrible things, and they did it. And then they had to live with it. They expected to die, and they didn't die. They came back. And now they got to live with it. That'll mess you up. I think the media does a disservice to America by narrating the war with their narratives. I don't think that's a good thing at all. I think they either should tell the truth or not talk about it. One or the other. Aaron says, hoorah, John. David says, Semper Fi, 9606. Amy says, exactly, Big John. No matter the country of origin, war is hell. Amen to that. I don't think anybody should have to go to war. I wish we could stop it now. But the reality is it's always going to be a part of our lives, one way or another, whether it's close up or far off, it's always going to be there. And we really have to figure out how to live with it. Or how to change it, one or the other. Aaron says, Amanda, I go every Friday to make peace with the families and bloodlines I ended. And Aaron says, David.
Salute. I hear you there, Aaron.
Amy says, hugs, Aaron.
And thank you, David, for your service.
Amy says, no new wars. It's not a new war. It's been going on for decades. This is true. It's hard not to see it as a new war, though, because it wasn't popping off a month ago. But it is now. But it has been. We're just now talking about it. And that's the very reason why everybody sees it as him starting a war, because we weren't talking about what was going over there before. Now we are. Because we got some people involved and they want to make money. So they create narratives and spin tales and weave stories together. I really hate that about the media. Aaron says, KFC, kindly forget this chicken. Right on. I don't care for KFC. It tastes like old chicken to me.
Because it's fake.
Amy says, boiled, flavorless, half-cooked chicken, Aaron.
KFC is test tube chicken, not real chicken.
Amy says, maybe now it's not real, but back when I worked there, the meat came from the local poultry farmer. Yeah, that was back in the day when they cared about food. Now they care about money.
Right.
And Mabel says, Jake, every time you smoke, I swear I can smell it. Vic would always light one up anytime you would when we would watch together. A random statement, but it just feels weirdly wholesome. Well, thank you. And I'll smoke one in his honor and yours.
Oh, Mabel.
And you know we love you. And have you heard from Vic? The last time I heard from him, he popped on the show and said something kind of random, and then I hadn't heard from him since. So I hope he's doing well. Judy says, thank you for your service, David. David, are you a serviceman?
He said Semper Fi 96 to 06.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what that meant.
Yeah, that means he's a Marine.
I know what Semper Fi means. I didn't know what the 9606 meant.
Yeah, he was in there for 10 years.
Well, thank you for your service. As always, you're welcome here and you're appreciated here. Amy says, I remembered putting on those long rubber gloves to make the coleslaw. By hand. The kind veterinarians wear for livestock.
The ones that go all the way up to your elbows.
Yeah. Nugget says, I heard today Trump said there's a 50 sleeper cell. There are 50 sleeper cells that he knows about in America. Yeah, that I don't doubt that. Look at what's going on in Minnesota. There's some weird shit happening in this country right now.
Oh, yeah.
That is being unearthed and handled somehow. It doesn't surprise me at all that there's sleeper cells here. And Aaron says, lights up with Jake in spirit. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Touche.
I'll light up with y'all.
Right on. Where am I at?
9:43.
There we go. Aaron says, I agree with Jake. You come here, your ass is getting sent to the sky. I agree. Meaning the intruders. Right. Yeah, you shouldn't come to America and start any shit. Because everybody's armed and we can use it. Debbie says, John, there are lots of videos online of random attacks of Islamists attacking citizens in the United States, but I have not fact-checked any of them. Yeah, I don't know either. I just know that they're all over the place, and there's a lot of Muslims in this country, as was reported in the first 4 years of Trump, where he tried to stop that, and then they made a big deal about it. So it wouldn't surprise me at all.
And all the Muslims and stuff with the problems going on in New York with Mandami and all that stuff and all the bombs that are happening, and that's just craziness.
And listen, I want to make one thing very clear up front. I do not dislike Muslims. The religion of Islam is their choice, and I support that. But you need to read the Quran. If you don't think I'm right about this, you need to read the Quran. They are square pegs, and we are round holes, and those two things are not compatible. If you want to believe that, if that's your religion, then so be it. I support you in it, but you need to do it in your country. You cannot do it here. Why? Well, I thought you had freedom of religion. Well, you do. But you don't have freedom of religion if that religion requires killing our religion. And that's what it does. Read the Quran, and you'll find out that's exactly what they're told to do. Not only are they told to do that, they're told to lie to you and gain your trust and then kill you. All of those things. That can't be allowed for anybody. The same reason we don't support Satanism. That is a religion also. You do have the freedom of religion. You do not have the freedom to extinguish another religion. So, the best way to handle that is to separate the religions. But I'm not against people who choose to be Muslim. I'm against extremist Islamists. And I'm not a phobe. I'll show you how scared I am if they come attack. Amy says, rednecks will defend this country if there's an invasion on our soil. True. They'll enforce a bag limit. Save some for everyone else. No taxidermies allowed. Marines show up, and there's beer cans and shells. That's right. That is correct. There'll be nothing but pickup trucks and shotgun shells laying all over the damn place and dead bodies. And those do-rags, what do you call them things? Bunch of those. Judy says, I agree, Aaron. Aaron says, not just rednecks. I think any red-blooded American would stand up and protect this soil. And our neighboring soils, too. If they came and attacked Canada, you bet your ass we'd be there. Hopefully they don't do that, though. Debbie says, trash talking from the media becomes the talking points, is what I meant. It does. It does, and that's sad, because the average person has no way of knowing what's going on. They listen to the news and get an idea and form an opinion right then and there. Ain't always the right opinion, though, because they're not always told the truth.
And they don't listen to more than one news.
Here's what needs to happen. I'll tell you what'll fix this. Jake fixes it. Here you go. Trump needs to make a law and have it passed in Congress so that it's permanent, that the news has to tell the news and cannot give an opinion. But like back in the day, remember when the news anchors had to talk in that real rigid form where they had no personality? And they sounded like robots, and it was a really strange thing to listen to. Go back and listen to news broadcasts from the 70s, and they all talked in this kind of Mediterranean middle speak, where it was like it had no accent and it had no inflection, and they couldn't even express an emotion depending on what they were talking about, because they had to appear non-biased. They could not give their opinion. They could not tell a lie. So Trump needs to pass a law that says the media has to tell the truth and have sources to verify that it's the truth and not give an opinion. and put the news back in the news world and out of the opinion piece world, because that's what news is now, just opinion. There is no news anymore.
They got to be like the Visine Clear Eyes guy. Y'all remember that commercial?
Mm-hmm.
Visine Clear Eyes gets the red out.
Bueller.
Right.
Bueller. So I'm saying the whole problem with the narrative and the way people receive media in this country is the fact that the news is all opinion, left or right, whatever it is. It's all like personalities given the news. That needs to stop. That's what's wrong with it. That's why people are at each other's throats. That's why people get up in the air and get all upset about things, because they're not being told the truth, and they're being told different sides of the truth in different places, which makes everybody at odds. We as Americans all need to get the truth at the same time, the same way, and that'll fix that problem.
The whole truth, nothing but the truth.
And no more trash talking our own government.
Mama said you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
And if you can't support your own country, you shouldn't be talking in it. Ilhan Omar, watch your mouth. We're watching you.
Oh, yeah. She's in trouble.
Jasmine Crockett,
She's bye-bye.
Chuck Schumer, Nadler,
Tampon Tim, he's in
Tampon
trouble.
Tim. All those guys need to stop talking. Judy says, LOL, Amy. Aaron says, Rangers go first. I hear you. Monkey Juice says, Iran been a problem for too long. It's about time.
We agree on something.
We agree on something. Which part of Iran are you talking about? Aaron says, so I'm for real on edge. I hear you, buddy. Well, let's pray you don't get sucked into this.
Monkey Hamburger Helper Hand.
Monkey says, I remember the 70s like it was yesterday. Me too.
I think you'll be all right, Aaron.
Elvis and Walter Cronkite. I miss those days. He might have been lying through his teeth to us, but it felt real. Judy says, hey, Monkey. Nugget says, the British intelligence, they have foiled 200 terror attacks in the last year. Wow. Thank God for that. Aaron says, you think so?
Yeah, I do.
Aaron says, I hate when people say I have PTSD and they are scared of a dog barking. Not the same thing.
Yeah, it's a different PTSD.
Yeah, that's not the war kind of PTSD. That's the you were bullied in high school kind of PTSD. Aaron says, not PTSD. I understand. Trauma. Dang, I can't type.
No, but that's how the doctors, diagnose it so they can get paid for it.
That's right. Aaron says, facts. I agree, Amanda. And Mabel says, ugh, this is exactly what Vic speaks of with me about how he knows it is wrong, but deep down he wants to keep fighting, and he talks about how that feeling is rewarding in the most brutal ways. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing right there that messes so many people up, because it's conflicting with their programming, and yet they still have to do it. And that changes everything about you. I know that sucks. I don't know what to tell you about that, because I can't begin to understand what it's like to be in that position other than seeing it from the outside. And I don't want to bloviate and pontificate on what I think the right thing is when I have no idea what I'm talking about. So just know that my prayers are with you, and I hope it works out. Amy says, my friend Tess got engaged. Congratulations, Tess. But she's thinking about breaking up with him. Why? His last name is Tickle. Oh, she doesn't want to be called Testicle. I got it. She doesn't want to spend the rest of her life as testicles. I don't blame her.
Well, he could always take her name, or she could just keep her name.
That's a good joke, though.
Right.
But I would say she can change her name.
Or she could keep her maiden name.
Aaron says, okay, which one of you didn't push like? Hit that like button, everybody. Subscribe, too, if you hadn't done so. And if you can, I would sure appreciate that. Mabel says, I believe he is at war with himself because I feel he has a great shame, but he feels like he can't stop. I got that feeling, too. I don't want to overstep and say more than I should say, but I definitely got that feeling, too. Aaron says, he will, Mabel. Amy says, Helen works in the complaint department. Miss Waite has worked in that department for decades. So if you have a complaint, go to Helen Waite.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. Amy says, my sleeping pills are starting to take effect, I think. I'm so tired I can't sleep. I hate that. I hate that where you can't fall asleep and you're doing cocaine in your sleep, and you can't fall asleep and you're doing cocaine in your sleep, and you can't fall asleep and you're doing cocaine in your sleep, and you wake up and you're doing cocaine. I hate that. Aaron says, eventually, you stay in the dark too long. You can't see what you are fighting. And then eventually it's nothing to fight. And then he will come back. I hope so. I don't know how to soothe that particular issue. I don't know that there is a soothe for it. It's just not a good place to be. Amy says, I'm not making light of a great conversation. I'm adding comic relief. Oh, well, we know. We know. And you are much appreciated. We love the comic relief. It keeps the levity up so it don't get too serious. John says, love, peace, and unity. Heart. Amen, John. And Mabel says, we talked very briefly a few nights ago. He has been very busy. I hear you. I'm glad you're still in contact. Aaron says, Mabel, did you see what I said? Which part?
About being in the dark. He'll come back.
Smiling Model Ship says, good morning. Hello, Smiling. Hit that subscribe button and like.
Hi, Smiling. Welcome.
Aaron says, oh, dang, Amanda said, smoke.
Yep.
Amy says, Smiling, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Amanda says, LOL, Aaron.
LOL, Aaron.
Judy says, hey, Smiling. And Mabel says, I just seen it, Aaron. Thank you. I appreciate you very much. And Aaron says, I told him to complete the mission. That means come home. Nugget says, Jake, you are right. The Quran does say that. It does. As well as a whole host of other things that I don't want to get into because I don't want to give any credence to. But it gets pretty scary. And Aaron says, he promised. And Mabel says, I know. And I never forget this, Aaron. This is what I think about since the day you said it. And I believe he meant it with his soul. Aaron says, what's your friend's name that is coming, Mabel? And Mabel says, her name is Annika. Wouldn't be Skywalker, would it? I've been friends with her since I first came to Canada. Tell her I said, may the force be with you. She'll get it. Debbie says, Paul Harvey got it right. Paul Harvey, who's that? Paul Harvey. And that is the way it should be. Who's Paul Harvey? I know that name, but I can't think of it. That's not the TMZ guy, is it?
Yes.
What did he say that was right? Aaron says, is she coming to the show? I don't think so. Amy says, kind of opposite of Obama's EO executive order, making it legal for the news to lie. His 1159 executive order. Yeah, that. The opposite of that. I think there should be heavy penalties if the news lies to you. I think they should make retractions when they make mistakes or if they get something wrong. I think it should be public and upfront at the beginning of the news hour. And that way, you have a news hour that you can trust.
Or do like they're doing to The View now. Every time they say something that's a lie or not fact checked, then they get a note handed to them and they gotta retract it and fix it.
Debbie says Ronald Reagan vetoed the fairness doctrine, which would have made it a law that every news report had to be reported with all sides represented. I think that's probably a good idea. And I don't know why he vetoed it. The only thing I can say about Ronald Reagan is even though he was the best president in my lifetime, as far as being a president goes, he's from California and he had some deep-seated California ways of thinking. And I'm guessing that's probably what played into that veto. I don't know about that situation, but it sounds to me like that's the right way to do news, to present it fair and balanced, for real. Not the way the Fox does it, but for real. And Mabel says if she wants to, she will be here soon, so we will probably eat and then maybe come back. Well, you're welcome. You know that. Amy says, I didn't know that, Debbie. Thanks. And Mabel says, and thank you again, Jake. You always have kind things to say, and I value your input. Thank you, and I appreciate that. And I'm just telling you what I think to be true. I don't even know if I'm right. I'm just telling you what I think is right. But I love you, and I won't ever guide you astray on purpose. So, there's that. Aaron says, when he comes home, he's regular. That's what he's afraid of. But he will come, trust. Yeah, it's kind of hard to turn off that once you've been doing that for a while. I know this from the show experience, that once you get used to being a certain thing, it's kind of hard to go back to normal and turn that off. It's not exactly the same thing, but I get the idea. When I'm out there on the stage and people are clawing at me and women are throwing themselves at me and everything's turned up to 11 and, you know, rocking and rolling and sweating and money flying and cocaine and just everything. And then you go to a room and it's silent. You can hear the buzz of the lights. Kind of hard to switch from one to the other. I can only imagine what that would be like in a war situation where everything really is up to 11. I would imagine that would be hard.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. 10:09.
Reagan vetoed it because he said that it was an unnecessary law because that is what the FCC is for. They are supposed to give fines for lying, says Debbie. Yeah, but they don't. And by the way, the FCC is largely Democrat ran. So everything they do is in favor of the narrative. You got that one wrong, Reagan. Sorry. I think Trump ought to take that and shove it down their throats. That's what I would do. Amy says it's a joke. I don't have a friend named Tess. Oh, I know. Testicles gave it away. Nugget says never leave cocaine in your pocket. The washing machine goes crazy. Amen. And Mabel says, yes, Aaron, this is what I worry about. I pray that he can adjust to civilian life, and I'm happy he always has plans, and he bought the truck before he left So at least there is structure and plans. At least. Hopefully he'll follow through with it. Please, thank you.
Okay, give me a minute. I'm coming.
Aaron says he will. I know it. I did it. And Debbie says the FCC cannot find the lies because they are opinion pieces in the news, not actual news pieces. That's why they did that. That's why they went opinion, went to cable, and stopped doing news. There's not one news channel on planet Earth right now, unless you count somebody like Tim Pool or somebody. And even that's heavily opinionated. But all of the news channels, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, they're all opinion pieces. Every one of them. They all have characters up front, which you should not have in the news. You shouldn't even know the news anchor's name. There should just be somebody telling you what the truth is. Here's the truth. Here's a picture of the truth. That's it. In my opinion. But you're right. They can't find a lie if it's an opinion. And they play on that heavily. Amy says, Reagan, hello, I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. Paraphrasing. Yes. The 9 most dangerous, terrifying words in the English language is, hello, I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. That's 10, by the way. Aaron says, tell him I'll walk with him. I need him here. And Debbie says, Paul Harvey and the rest of the story. He was a reporter that told both sides of the story and let the readers decide. Well, I agree with that. And Mabel says, I will, smiley face. Aaron says, Leo says, bark, bark. He has no opinion. Mabel says, I think you are thinking the same as I have, and it is hard to say and vocalize, but I am coming to terms with it. Either way, I love him unconditionally. Well, that's all that really matters at the end of things, right? Whatever happens, whether you're in a cardboard box or a mansion, whether you're happy or distraught, whether you are terrified or at peace, unconditional love covers all of that. Make you get up and walk to town in the middle of the night. Amanda says, Leo's opinion is feed me, damn it. LOL. That's all he cares about. Nugget says, bless every veteran and serving service person. Keep them all safe. Prayers. Amen to that. And God does bless those people. Even if they're not safe. He does bless them. You can bet that if a man is fighting for what he believes to be true, God blesses that. And he's first to appear in heaven beside God. You can bet on that. Amy says, and talking over the bed, Amanda. Taking over the bed. And taking over the bed, Amanda. Yeah. He cares about eating and taking over the bed. Amy says, Leo identifies as a pillow. He's big enough to be one. Thank you. Aaron says, he likes to be under me more, LOL. He crawled over here. Amanda says, LOL, yeah, Amy. Aaron says, more like identifies as a brick and a dead weight. Well, he is a big dog. Amy says, if you can leave, come in a locker at the White House. If you can leave, come in a locker at the White House. The media doesn't go crazy. They never said who's. Any guesses? You mean cocaine? I got you. Yeah, if you can leave cocaine in a locker at the White House. Well, we know whose it is. There's not a. It had. What's his name? Joe Biden's son, Hunter. It had Hunter Biden on. This is Hunter Biden's blow on the bag. It's not hard to figure that one out. Amy says, a furry brick. Coke, not cum. I was wondering about that. Who left cum in the White House? Bill Clinton ain't been there in a while. Yeah, and he left that on Monica. Typo is a valid question, too. Yes, it is. Aaron says, hairy concrete. The dog, yep. Is Jake's hand still huge? I don't know if you can see it. It's better than it was yesterday. It's still kind of swollen up, though. Can you see it? It's kind of purple, but it's less purple than it was yesterday. So it is going down. Thank you for asking. I got one of those on my knee, too. And my shoulder's bruised. But other than that, I'm good.
And his elbow.
And my elbow. Amy says, I'm fading fast. Get the clear. Get those things. I'm fading fast. I have to get up early. I'm going into lurker mode. Love y'all and good night.
Defibrillator.
And do all a good night. I'm fading fast too. It's 10:23. I'll go to 10:30, but I got to go to bed. Judy says, good night, Amy. Aaron says, see you on the pickle side, Amy. Amy says, see you at Bible study tomorrow. Thank you, dear. I'll be here. Amy says, pickle side, Aaron. That comment blindsided me. You were blindsided? That's actually very clever. I like that. And Aaron says, don't be salty, LOL. Damn, smoke voice from Friday. Smoke voice? Me? I always have a smoky voice. And Amy says, hamburger helper hand, Jake's hand. Yeah, it kind of looks like that, don't it? Aaron says, what did you hit, Amanda? We didn't hit anything. I had a flat tire, and the tire came off of the rim and locked up the back tire because it's too big to be in that area. So you ever change the tire, one half of it comes off of the rim, and then the other half comes off? Well, it was like that in the middle. One half was off the side of the rim and stuck to the fender. So my back tire locked up, and the bike slid this way, and then it slid that way, and then it slid this way, and then it came to a stop, and we fell over. Like a whip.
I got my hand, my arm, my knee, and my right calf got a peg bruise. We landed on our left sides.
We fell over on the motorcycle. So the left side, yeah. Everything that was sticking out hit the pavement.
But we were dressed for the ride, so we got minimal damage.
So what did we hit? The ground.
Yeah.
The asphalt. It wasn't my fault. It was asphalt. Kind of was my fault. Man,
Sorry, I was trying to read back to see what Aaron was talking about. Oh, okay, I got you.
What?
The movie Friday where he goes, damn.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he was talking about with the Smokey's voice.
I got you. I didn't see Friday.
I got you, Aaron.
Or Friday after next. Or How to Drink Juice While Pimping in the Hood. Or whatever that movie's called. Nugget says, I'm going to say good night, everyone. Sleep well until tomorrow. John, thank you for being here, buddy. Where did the other John go? He said hello and never said anything else.
He said he'd be lurking. He was busy.
Well, hello, other John. Nice to see you. Mr. P, come on back if you ever want to try again. I done told you once, you son of a gun, I'm the best as ever been. Aaron says, no, Smokey. I got it.
Yeah.
Amanda?
Yeah, I hurt my left hand. I got a busted knuckle and a little bit of asphalt rash on my palm and my elbow and my left knee. Yeah,
Such is the
knock you out.
biker's life.
And I got a peg bruise across the back of my right calf, where my right leg slammed down on the peg.
How do you think the bike feels?
You know what? That bike can kiss my ass. Right as you say it, right where it looks like a pig. I hate that bike even more now.
You better not hate it. Amy says, good night, Nugget. Aaron says, Amanda, explain to him, please, who Smokey is from the movie Friday. I got it. I've seen it. Judy said, I haven't seen it, but I've seen parts of it. I'm aware of it. I know what you're talking about. I just didn't catch the reference. Judy says, night, Nugget. And Aaron says, no, I mean like he hurt his hand. What did you hurt? Well, you got pretty much everything on that side. Aaron says, deuces and footlooses, Jake and Amanda sleep.
And Nighters, I'll see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Untethered Live for Bible study. Much love, y'all.
Deuces and footlooses. I like it.
And
that's a good one.
I'm about to, Aaron. I'm ready for bed.
That's what I was born to do. I'm about to. Wait, what?
I'm about it.
You down with OPP?
Yeah, you know me.
Jake Johnson make you want to jump. You down with JJB? Yeah, you know me. Too legit to quit. Aaron says, warm it up, Chris. Crisscross. See, that's what I'm about. Could you imagine me with my hair sticking up like that? That would be terrible. OPP, old people problems.
Yeah.
Says Amy.
That's
yes.
all of us.
Judy says, bye, y'all. All right. I have politickled out. I'm not politiclish anymore. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I love each and every one of you. I've had a great conversation with you guys, and I can't wait to do it again soon. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
And we will see you tomorrow for Bible study. Be there or be rectangular. Thanks for watching.
Good night.